Yo, what is up, Speed Gaming fans? I'm WXFan21, joined by the outstanding, the one, the only, the Derp. Derp, been a while since you and I have done comms together. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Like you said, it's been a minute. Of course, I just did the first two races of this best of three multi-category tournament consolation bracket match between PapaSchmo and Exact Science. PapaSchmo was able to take game one with his pick of GT Classic. Exact took game two with her pick of any percent. And so now we are on to the decider, which was randomly chosen to be 100%. And I gotta say, after doing two full races, I'm not super enthusiastic about now going into Hundo, one of the longest categories in the tournament, but I will give it my best.
Not GT Max. At least it's not GT Max.
Fortunately, GT Max was banned, so was not one of the options.
And assuming low ice was banned too. Not two of my favorite categories because they're so long to commentate, but 100% I feel like isn't terrible. We should be looking at about an hour 15, hour 25, roughly. I mean, unless one of these two want to go decide and break Zenny's world record, I don't think that would be complaining either.
I mean,
we're going to be starting off at, oh look, Series Station.
I'd be down to see a world record run right now.
Right?
Get a
like, I want
real fast time. I do think we're going to be finishing closer to that 125 range. I didn't actually look at the runners' Hundo PBs because I can check that now while we've,
I'll pull that
we're
up.
just in series.
So, definitely this is nice. We actually get a game 3. I feel like I've done a lot of commentary. What's been 2-0 squashes, so to speak. Some close games, but overall, just some of them really not super ultra competitive in some aspects in certain categories. But again, if that's the beauty of this, if you have a runner that is so good in one category and then you go to a category like, let's say someone's great in any percent, but then you throw them into RBO or low ice and it's like, you don't really know it, then you get that like game 3 type of feel. So I love the uniqueness of this tournament. And as I pull up the leaderboard, I'm looking for PapaSchmo. I'm looking for Exact here, and I don't see either of them yet. We're going, still going.
Oh my goodness. From what I saw, Exact has a mid 127 and PapaSchmo has a low 126.
Right.
So Exact's PB on the spreadsheet is listed as a 130. She has a 127 on Gear Tier, so I don't know what happened there. But either way, that is what we are looking at in terms of
PapaSchmo 126.03.
Yep. So very low 126.
Mm-hmm. And then Exact Science.
Yeah, on Deer 2, she had like a 127.47, I want to say.
I'm not even finding her on speedrun.com.
I don't know. I kind of alluded to this at the beginning of the last race. After the split leaderboards and with some people having issues with SRC, you don't necessarily people update their times on the leaderboard as consistently as in the past, which not going to make any comments on that. I definitely have been in a lot of arguments about that in the past, but
gotcha.
Either way, the point I'm trying to make here is that both runners are very comparable.
Yep.
In terms of time, which is good because in this long category, which is not, it doesn't have any super difficult, risky spots in the run. Like there's very little chance of dying. The better movement is usually going to be the advantage. So when you're seeing two runners who are very comparable in skill across the category, it means that we should have a fairly close race throughout.
I feel like they're also very comparable in terms of speed. which is going to make this even more fun in terms of movement and everything else. But again, that is yet to be determined. We will find that out here sooner rather than later. But Derp, 100%, there were really two main routes. There's croc first, croc second, or however you want to call it.
Yeah,
Those
early
are really
croc
the
and late
two-
croc.
Early croc, late croc, thank you. Could not think of the wording there. I would love to see what these runners do, because that is definitely a big portion of 100%.
Yeah, I do think both runners are running early croc. Again, I'm not 100% sure about the runners' 100% tendencies, if you will. But, you know, we'll see. I do think, or I should say, I do hope they do the same routes, because I think that makes the best viewing experience, seeing both runners doing the same route. There's also the early versus late power bomb, where some runners will decide to go up and get that alpha power bomb early in order to do Kraid's Lair in one trip, which ends up breaking about even in time. Funny enough, it's almost exactly even.
There you go. We'll definitely see some possible route divergence here. Right now, it's pretty much just a 5-second lead here for PapaSchmo.
Yeah,
And this is
PapaSchmo's
a
early movement has been really good throughout this best of series.
This is also a consolation bracket match. This is not the upper bracket, it's the consolation bracket. It's a single elimination playoff format, so this is a consolation bracket. Winner of this best of 3 does not move on for a shot to get back into the main bracket, just to see who's the better of the ones that got knocked out. PapaSchmo failing Alcatraz, gets it on the second try though. Gives Exact a quick lead here, but Exact misses the bomb plant, and Nerves getting to these racers here early on, Derp.
Yeah, I don't know if it's nerves or fatigue after doing 3 full races. Both runners finished both races. I think both races ended up each runner in Mother Brain at the same time. Obviously, one was in a comfortable lead, but they were still both on the boss, so...
Well, I mean, Twitch chat and I should just pretty much call it out what it is. The racers are intimidated because you're on commentary, and your greatness being here doing commentary is clearly the reason they're intimidated, so I'm just saying.
I don't know, they weren't this intimidated before you showed up, so... Must be the Wix fan aura.
Nah, not at all. But let's see, because again, it's going to be the normal early routing. You've seen a lot of categories, early supers, grab your charge beam, all that kind of stuff.
We do have to get all the other items over here while we're getting this early super, so we got to get the reserve and all the missiles. Don't want to have to come into this room later. We do go through this area later, but we don't want to come all the way to the reserve when we're already just one room away.
You get the reserve and the 2 items behind the reserve tank. There's no need in coming back here if we don't have to. And you see the little difference here. Exact elected to go to the reserve tank first. PapaSchmo is going for the back items here first. It doesn't really matter, in my opinion, Derp, too much, because you still have to deal with the fanfare, and maybe it'll save you, what, a half a second?
Yeah, I think technically going to the missiles first is slightly faster because you get to mockball through the little morph tunnel. But it's very minimal and not a huge deal, like you mentioned. Unfortunately, no reverse mockball for PapaSchmo. Exact does get it, though. That's a pretty big time save. It's close to a full fanfare. You're going to see PapaSchmo needs to remember to grab the item. But you can see he's grabbing the item as Exact is coming out of the fanfare. So, yeah, lost almost exactly 6.7 seconds of time.
And we are going to be talking later on when we get to the cleanup phase of 100%. Derp and I are going to go into the items, the locations, why stuff's being done a certain way. So that's going to come here a little bit later. For right now, we're going to focus on what the runners are doing, where they elect to go, the types of routing they're doing. We'll get to the cleanup portion later on. notice how neither one is going for big pink missiles. They're going to skip all this. They're going to go for the charge beam, and they're going to get out of here. Leave the missile for cleanup later. You already got the 2 missiles early. You got them over in Bring Reserve. There's no need of going back there right now. You can't do the rest of this area because Waterway is locked by speed, and we don't have a speed booster yet. So, Exact and PapaSchmo heading into Green Hill Zone with about a 4 or 5 second difference between them.
Yeah, a lot of stuff in Green Bryn is Powerbomb locked, and like you said, Waterway is Powerbomb and speed locked. PapaSchmo actually closed the gate on himself, had to reopen it.
I was going to say PapaSchmo was moving really nicely through Green Hill Zone and then does that.
Classic. Looks like both runners are going to be going down, so we do continue to have the same routing in terms of general route. Again, there are the little differences I mentioned at the beginning, so I'm glad to see both runners doing the same thing. We get to keep comparing their position instead of having to kind of guess guess who's ahead. You know what I'm trying to say.
And now it is almost a full fanfare lead for Exact. That's about a 5 to 6 second lead. But again, very early on here, anything can happen. RNG is a massive things in races between Fantoon's patterns. You've got Dragon swoops, Ridley's AI. There's a lot of things that can go at a run, including Metroid drops later, Mother Brain phases, you get an extra catch-up, you get hit with an I-beam. There's a lot of RNG that also goes into some of these too. So that if you can capitalize on as much time as possible in the early game, will make things easier. And that is something what PapaSchmo just made up about a half a second to a second by hitting that jump. Nicely done, PapaSchmo.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of struggling to remember after watching so many races, but I believe both runners are 50% on quick kills. We'll see who manages to hit the quick kill this race. So PapaSchmo once again actually did that in race 1, I believe. Waited around for the health drop from Minicrade because he drops 4 drops initially and then 1 more once the death explosions finish. So waited around for that last little bit of health just to be a little more comfortable.
No quick crate kill for Exact. Well, Schmo hit the quick crate kill. 4 supers before Crade rises to what we call the DLC here because you get to see the downloadable content of Crade's body. And PapaSchmo just missing the quick crate kill, was 1 super away.
Yeah, unfortunately he missed the super on the opening and didn't quite have enough supers to get the 4 super quick kill as a backup. He needed to shoot 1 missile, and maybe he was trying to, but wasn't quite fast enough on the menu. Which is a shame because that would have been a pretty good chance to catch up, but as it is, Exact actually ends up being a little bit faster. She also got the stand up, but she caused Crade to stand up faster, and both got a fast mouth open once Crade had once Crade did stand up. So the slightly faster stand up from Exact means she is growing her lead slightly. But again, it's still early, a lot of rooms to go.
Agreed. Beautiful bomb lay there from Exact as well to clear Crade's closet. Exact with now an 8 to 9 second lead. The reason I'm keeping track of this, folks, is because this is going to come into play as we continue to move. Oh, and Exact just missing the jump. This is going to come into play again later on. Let's say PapaSchmo gets a fast at Fantoon at Derp. And if Exact gets a slow, well, there's your immediate cleanup right there. That's your time made up.
I think it's an 11-second difference at the moment.
Roughly, yeah.
We gonna grab all these items here at the high jump. Grab the E-tank and the missile as well. It'll be the first time those high jump missiles have been collected this series. GT Classic and any percent race, both runners skipped that missile. So the lonely missile pack finally gets
gonna get a hump.
collected.
Feels good to commentate some vanilla categories here, Deborah, the caster. So much rando recently. And I love the idea of the multi-category tournament. This has been an out-of-the-park success. Fans, what do you think? Give us the thumbs up in the Twitch chat if you've been enjoying this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, the runners have definitely been enjoying the tournament. Like I alluded to, we've PapaSchmo actually was the one who organized this consolation bracket. The eliminated runners just decided they wanted to race more, so we set up another little bracket for her. Get to do more, have more fun, play more Super Metroid. Did Exact grab the missile? I think she did, right?
Both grabbed the missiles.
Okay. That's a pretty important missile right there. One of the easier ones to skip in the run. There's another missile here in the bottom right of Bubble Mountain that we'll be saving for the end. But we are coming up on another pretty easy to skip missile right before Speed Booster.
Apparently no viewer has been enjoying this tournament. I said to put a thumbs up in chat here, but I'm just being completely ignored by Twitch chat. What else is new? I'm kidding, Twitch chat. Relax.
Put a thumbs up in chat right now. I am no longer asking.
Nope.
Alright. Both runners grabbing the missile. Getting that speed booster. Pretty similar to what we saw in the last race. The old route. We do the... What did Idle say? We're kind of shopping in Upper Norfair, getting all the items. They're all pretty easy to get. Just getting stocked up on all the movement items we want. And some beams as well.
Fine, put a dino dance in chat if you've been enjoying the tournament. Some people don't have a thumbs up, which is fair. I don't know if Twitch has a thumbs up global emote.
There's definitely a global thumbs up emote. That one right there.
There you go.
Seems good. There's probably another one, but I don't remember.
I think some people just have us on Derp as they're like preparing to go to bed.
Honestly, I am guilty of falling asleep to SpeedGaming races. Always fun, taking a nap to a race and waking up to a completely different game. Especially during like the peak of SpeedGaming, when there was, especially on SG Main, there was basically 24/7 races going on.
Right.
PapaSchmo had a little bit of trouble in double chamber, fell down the platforms, and it took a few jumps to get back up. So that's a pretty big time loss.
Yeah, exactly.
PapaSchmo was already behind, but that lead that Exact Science had is only grown in Norfair.
Yep. Alright, it's gonna be early croc for Exact.
Yep. I expect PapaSchmo is going to be doing the same.
PapaSchmo's gonna do late croc for the lulz.
It's not really something you want to do for the lulz. It's a lot trickier getting that ice clip to spring ball and a couple other things you need to do without grapple. It's definitely not something you want to do on a whim if you're not practiced. But PapaSchmo is just going to go to that Crocmire. We got double early croc going on.
Wake up, viewers, wake on up. I know, it's midnight Eastern, I get it. Exact having a little bit of trouble there in the acid to get the croc energy tank.
Yeah, we'll see if she's going to go for the wraparound shot to open the door. Sounded like she did. That's an interesting setup. You can just press up against the platform and it works. But either way, opens the door all the way on the left side of the room because of how out of bounds works in the game. There's essentially a full copy of the room to the right. So she shot that copy of the door and it opens the door in the real world. And that lets us spark through the door for the power bomb.
Good call.
PapaSchmo, meanwhile, hanging out in the spike suit.
I think he was trying to get a blue suit.
Well, he got the spike suit. It's not really important in early Croc. What he's gonna do, or what he was trying to do, I think, was just he was gonna wait for the drops to appear and then just spark across, but he didn't actually open the door, so didn't quite get to do the full spark that Exact did.
Exact lead has been cut into by about a couple seconds. Flying through Indiana Jones.
We'll see. We've got 1945 grapple grab. A little bit awkward. I think she thought she'd already grabbed the item and started holding back and ended up moving away. See some nice grapple tech. Oh, this is gonna get sketchy.
Yeah, PapaSchmo's going for the Shine Spark Missile. Exact did the Indiana Jones. Nicely done by grabbing across.
That kind of messes up my comparison since they both grabbed these two items in different orders.
Come on, Schmo.
Come on. We'll get to see a comparison right here at Cosine Missile, though, for those who are interested. Oh, that's kind of awkward for Exact. 2034 item grab. PapaSchmo going to be around 20 seconds behind, it looks like.
Yeah, it's a better D-boost from Exact.
Yeah, the supers are actually really awkward for PapaSchmo as well.
Yeah,
Only one super.
2 for Exact, not any better on their side. 2056 for PapaSchmo. 22 second difference.
Okay, that's not so bad. These bugs were kind of trolling Exact, who... I was wondering if she would actually farm more health, because her health is also pretty low. I didn't see how she got so low. Yeah, PapaSchmo gets a really good one farm, 3 supers, and 2 big health.
Exact went through the acid on the way out of Cosine Missile.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I literally said what happened. I watched her fall in the acid.
You're fine.
Something something, midnight Eastern, something something.
Both missing the super missile green door trigger.
Yeah, it looks like PapaSchmo made up some pretty good time on that farm, though. It spent, only 1 farm compared to 4 or 5 from Exact, and then actually had a cleaner Croc escape as well. So, makes up a little bit of that lead. About half of it is.
I think more than a little bit of the lead. They're both on the elevator. Very nicely done. So, notice how they didn't break the tube. That'll be done later.
Yeah, you only want to break the tube, generally, if you are going to have gravity when you get back to the tube. So, like, New Route or GT Classic, you break that tube going from left to right, because the trigger is... Like, the trigger to break the glass is on the left side of the room, so it's better to lay the power bomb on the left.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was anywhere.
No, yeah, the actual trigger is like on the bottom left corner of the door or something like that. But yeah, so in this category, we don't have gravity until we come back, so we are going to break the tube once we come back for the second time. That was really close for PapaSchmo.
Wow! Very close on PapaSchmo.
Yeah, very close. Unfortunately, did lose a little bit of time there. A lot of the A lot of the time he made up in the Croc escape is
Gone.
gone. So we're back to about a 20-second lead for exact. Oh, it's on the top left corner of the door. My apologies.
And now comes one of the longest item gets in the game. Wrecked ship. Why is it long? Is because the way that wrecked ship... Don't get me wrong. Playing casually, it's fun to go and find all the secret areas. But for speedrunning, one of the biggest pains is the wrecked ship energy tank, which the racers are going to get on their way out, because we are actually, in this category, going to go through the Forgotten Highway portion. So we're going to go East Ocean into Maze.
Well, we aren't going there, but we do have to grab the E-tank. So we do need to go through
that way in 100%. And then
no, not in Hundo.
Clearing out West Meridia.
You do that for like 100% map, for any Mapo fans, but yeah, you don't need to go through that area. There's no items over there, but we do need to go over for the E-tank, which involves going to and from Spiky Room of Death.
So long. It's just an out-of-the-way item. That's why if you've ever watched any map randos, and Derp and I have played, Derp's played a lot, I've played some, you really go through hoping that that is nothing. Because if it's a full randomizer, and that ends up being a critical major, it's so out of the way with, and a time loss in a race format, you just really hope it's nothing. But it's a very out-of-the-way check. Derp, it's about 45 seconds to minute 15, I think, of a check.
You talking about Wreck Ship E-tank?
E-tank, yeah. From main
honestly, I haven't timed it out. I assume you're talking about like area rando.
Oh, I mean like go from main shaft to go get the energy tank to get back to the main shaft to keep clearing items.
All right, I want to say it's around a minute, but I'm actually kind of put me on the spot here. I'm a little annoyed. I don't know exactly how long it takes, but of course, in 100%, there is an item over there, so we have to go grab it.
Mm-hmm. You did get somebody in Twitch chat excited when you said Mapo.
There's some dedicated Mapo fans in the community. Including our tournament organizer, MM2, who ran away to play Link to the Past instead. Putting him on blast. Well, both runners onto Fantoon. PapaSchmo getting a mid first round. I believe Exact got a slow.
Almost
close to a 2-round, yeah.
Nice fast.
All right, so slow mid fast for Exact. PapaSchmo getting a mid slow so far. This is going to be tough to 3-round though.
Yep. Nice
Yeah,
fast.
he also gets a fast.
This is
See if he can close it out.
Nope.
Not quite.
So this is going to be a massive time loss.
And of course the slow.
Of course it is.
Oh, the rare left mid actually. That's funny. Caught PapaSchmo off guard. Luckily Fantoon done enough trolling for today. Gonna close it out with a fast side open, so PapaSchmo is able to get an acceptable 4-round.
We'll allow it.
Better than it could have been.
Exact now into why did I just lose the name of it? East Supers?
Right side supers.
Right side supers. Thank you. That's why I said east. Right side. Exactly what I was thinking of.
I mean, that's technically east.
Yeah, this is the Fantoon reward room. At the end of every single boss, you have your boss item. For Fantoon, because it's not really in a connecting room, this is the Fantoon boss reward. Right side supers.
Yeah. vanilla map and/or area rando, that's generally what's considered the Phantoon boss reward. But again, we are playing vanilla, so we don't really care about stuff like that. We just care that there's an item there. So we gotta go grab it. We are exact stopped right before going through the door. That's funny. But she's onto the spiky room of death. The trick here, the trick to not dying in the spikes is you want to avoid turning around on those platforms. Kind of alluded to it earlier, talking to Idle. If you do a turnaround as you hit the platform, you'll sometimes clip through it, which will put you A, through the platform, and B, into the spiky water. PapaSchmo is actually going to do a much faster entrance into the room. Going to use the damage of the first platform to propel the morph ball all the way to the end of the room. So it's going to take a little bit of damage, but there is an E-tank right here to refill. Since we did early croc, we've got the grapple beam to get over nice and easily. Without it, you have to do a pretty tricky bomb jump or spend time lining up a even trickier normal jump. And that is Wreck Ship E-tank.
Yeah.
Oof. Zach did take a lot of damage on the way out. That is actually a little bit awkward because we do want enough health to spark all the way through the first room of Gauntlet from the right side of landing site. You need about 230, I want to say.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, which should be no problem. With the early croc, we also have an extra E-tank that you would not normally have if you did late croc. Another reason why this route is generally considered a lot easier and why most people will opt for it. But it is still something to keep in mind. Zach is taking a lot of damage, so I would hope she plays a little bit safer.
Exact. Stop taking that much damage. Sincerely, commentators.
Stop it.
Just stop it.
It does take a little bit more damage to go through the robot.
Oh, okay. That was just, I think, as an insult to the commentators, just taking extra damage.
Well, she was trying to clip through the robot. She got through the second one, but the third one was being mean. This room sucks. Nobody likes this room.
No.
Nobody's favorite room here.
Even casually, not a fan of that room.
I'd argue it's even worse casually. At least you have strats for it once you start playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Casually, you go through this miserable room, and guess what you get?
Ooh!
One missile.
Got both.
Really nice from PapaSchmo, though. Makes up a little bit of time. Not quite getting the cool jump up to the missile. Gonna have to spark.
Yep, sky missiles.
But that's okay. We do have a nice 37-person raid from Glass SSB. Welcome in to... Zach misses a couple supers there. But welcome into the Game 3 of this best of 3 match between Exact and PapaSchmo. It's a multi-category race. We had any percent in GT Classic earlier, and now we're closing out with a Hundo race to decide the series. See if Exact is able to get this short charge. She started it pretty far to the right, so
yeah.
Unfortunately she wasn't able to get it.
Unfortunate. Time to go bowling.
And actually, I kept pointing it out. I wasn't sure if it would come up, but yeah, Exact's health is a little bit too low to do all the sparks she needs. So I wonder if we see potentially a ship refill, which would refill the resources, but also would cost a non-trivial amount of time. Exact, you need those items. Okay.
She's like, right. 100%.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she's watching the restream. I know PapaSchmo was in the earlier races.
He messed
Obviously,
with the start of
she's
this
on like a
race.
minute delay, so the runners won't be able to react to what we say on the spot. But
You'd be correct. Schmo has caught up.
yeah, some more robots that suck to go through.
These things are so annoying.
Yeah, we'll see exactly what the difference is through or once they touch the gravity suit. PapaSchmo had the worst Fantoon fight, but did have cleaner wreck ship movement afterwards, I would say.
Yep.
So that was what, a 34. Okay. So still going to be about a 20-second lead for exact. Can be 34-27 for PapaSchmo.
16-second lead for exact. Pancakes. Derp, what's your favorite kind of pancake?
It's a boring answer, but I gotta say chocolate chip. I love some chocolate chip pancakes.
I like it. It's my favorite.
Yeah, blueberry pancakes also really good.
Blueberry are amazing, especially if they're fresh blueberries, not like frozen. So good.
Oh yeah, they gotta be fresh blueberries.
Gotta get a lot of them too.
Yeah, like I mentioned, Exact is going to take the time to refill here. We'll get full health and, more importantly, full ammo. That's the big thing. If PapaSchmo skips that refill, which he has the health to do, that's what he'll lose out on, is getting to refill those supers and power bombs.
He is.
But in terms of where they are on the map, we are synced up.
Yep. This has become a 5-second difference.
Exact having a faster entry into this landing site power bomb, so
it's a 9-second difference now.
Oh.
Or 8 seconds somewhere.
It's almost exactly a fanfare. Fanfare is like 6.7 seconds. Alright, so we see another wraparound shot here. It's going to open the door to the front of Gauntlet. I assume PapaSchmo did the same.
That's why it's done. Okay, I was wondering why they were shooting.
So we get to spark all the way through, get to that E-tank. Actually, PapaSchmo was able to get the shot quicker, so makes up some of that lead.
One of the coolest shine sparks in Super Metroid is that 100% strat right there, in my opinion.
It's definitely one of the coolest shine sparks.
Alright, racers, don't mess this up.
Yeah, it doesn't look like either of them are going to do a quick fall. Both going to make sure they line up in the middle and get both those missiles.
That could have been the race right there if they had gone down one instead of both.
Yeah, it's about a 90-second time loss to go through Gauntlet again at the end. That can't be right. It's closer to 30. If you went straight to Gauntlet, it'd be a 90-second time loss, but going through at the end would be closer to 30. But either way, that's a 30-second time loss that, you see how close this race is. You cannot afford to lose that much time. So we have dueling elevators. Exact is still slightly in the lead, but PapaSchmo with a little bit cleaner Gauntlet movement. Caught up, and getting the full moonfall, actually, puts us in the same spot. We're back in sync. And I will say, while Exact was able to refill her ammo at the ships, it shouldn't matter too much in this category in particular. You don't really have any ammo management once you get out of wreck ship, really. So unless the remaining boss drops just go terribly for PapaSchmo, which could happen. The fact that Exact had to refill at the ship to get the health back, to get her health back, was just a straight time loss. And so again, we were talking about it, but the slight mistakes in the ship, while she wasn't in any danger of dying, it has basically just evened up this race. And I'm excited to see how the second half of this turns out. We are very close right now, and actually PapaSchmo showing off the rando experience in that little area of the map. Now actually pulling pretty far ahead, full room ahead.
Yep. I take a few minutes to look away from the screen. And Schmo has taken the lead. Now, can these racers get Mission Impossible? We're about to find out.
Doesn't look like it for PapaSchmo. We'll see if Exact can. I know this is something she's worked on before.
This will be the time save she needs.
Would be pretty big. I don't think she got it, though, unfortunately.
No.
You have to be pretty much perfect with that.
Hence why the room is named Mission Impossible. It is tough. So the Mission Impossible piece of that room, there is... Gerald, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's close to frame perfect. You get the item and actually jump back up into the crumble block as it appears, and then you wall jump your way out.
Yep. Would allow you to exit out the top instead of going through the bottom, which gets you to the next spot you want to go to a little bit faster. Actually, funny enough, we're doing the right side of this room in a different order. Exact is doing the Wavegate E-Tank first, while PapaSchmo did the Spore Spawn Super first, which we get from the back. Not going to be fighting Spore Spawn in this category, or any category in this tournament. I'll have to go to Mini Boss RTA for that.
I know the viewers do enjoy a good Spore Spawn fight. Right, viewers?
I mean, it happens so infrequently. I'm sure it's an exciting experience.
I don't know if that's ever been uttered about a Spore Spawn fight ever.
Well, you know. I don't remember what I was talking about. Anyways, going down to get this last item in Big Pink, Waterway. This E-Tank, it's blocked by a Powerbomb block and those speed blocks. So we couldn't get it until now.
Sorry for the yawn, it is almost 12:30 Eastern.
Yeah, the speed blocks are particularly annoying. Without them, we'd actually be able to go clear this area out earlier with just power bombs, but that one speed locked item makes it awkward. But even if we could, there's still the issue of the other speed locked item at the top of the map, which is Wreck Ship Reserve, which...
Now, I do want to say this. Notice how PapaSchmo later powerbomb basically opened up the door for later. What the racers are going to do is they have to come back through Green Hill Zone. They're going to go to Retro Brinstar last to clean all those items up, which is going to bring them back into Criteria, to Old Mother Brain, into Climb Supers, then into 230 Missiles, because it's the 230th item, if I'm not mistaken, in the game. Hence why it's called 230.
Well,
missile.
It's the 230th missile, specifically.
I thought it was... Why do I feel like when I see people get that, the number doesn't actually reach 230? That's what I thought the original one was, so either way. It's the last item in the game that we're going to get. 230 missiles. I don't know why I thought it was 255.
It's 255 in a couple different games. Like, I think Metroid 1 and Metroid Prime 2 both have 255 missile max.
I would, yeah, okay. I was gonna say Metroid Prime 1, I know it's 255. I don't know, maybe it's also an Earthbound thing, is that there was stuff capped at 255.
Something, 8-bit integers, something.
Yeah, something, just do a Super Metroid. And
It's
PapaSchmo
here
just
for
did,
them.
short charged into the Main Street missile. Beautifully done.
Actually, funny enough, the even though they could be 8-bit integers, the ammo counts in Super Metroid are actually 16-bit. If you overflow them, which is possible with a couple different glitches, they actually go up to 65,535.
Nice.
Makes them 16-bit integer, even though there was no need for that.
PapaSchmo is massively building on his lead right now. Exact having a little trouble with the short charge Shine Spark.
Yeah, and I think Exact is definitely feeling the moment now. You know, nerves, fatigue, whatever you want to call it, but
I think it's
she's had a couple rough rooms in a row, and now missing this Shine Spark, missing the short charge this many times. I think it's starting to settle in, the gravity of the situation.
Gravity, Meridia. I see what you unintentionally did there, Derp.
Unintentionally, I know what I'm doing.
Or intentional, excuse me. Didn't want to
it was
that it was intentional.
But yeah, PapaSchmo really starting to pull ahead here at the beginning of Meridia.
Yeah. PapaSchmo's movement is really clean right now.
Yeah. There's still the Meridia bosses left to go. Those can lose a lot of time if you mess them up. I actually missed that short charge to get up Everest. Oh, Exact. She didn't get the spark to get up to the E-tank, so...
Nope. And she
ends up
didn't
having
want to
to
waste time with a short charge either.
Yeah, ends up having to use the turtle.
Mm-hmm. Now, West Meridia is the least item dense in the entire game, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, there's a lot of items. They're just... Specifically in a rando setting, there's no major items and there's no Chozo items, so... Or, well, there's one major item at Mama Turtle, but... It makes it feel like it's less item dense than it actually is. But... Like here, there's 2 items right here. 2 rooms away, there's another missile. Like for where PapaSchmo is.
2 Main Street.
Yeah, there's plenty of items. It's just all missiles and supers, pretty much.
Yeah. Alright, that's West Meridia down for PapaSchmo. So PapaSchmo has full cleared Greenbryn, has full cleared West Meridia. Oh, with
and
WX, what about the... Thank you. What about the Red Brinstar? There aren't that many items there. You would be correct, folks out there. Wake up.
Actually, they would not be correct because they haven't gotten X-ray yet.
Right. Why haven't that? Oh, that was the thing is. But they've cleared red. No, they haven't cleared red yet. They have X-ray to get.
Yeah, save X-ray for last since we want to get it with Space Jump and Screw Attack.
Yep.
Makes jumping through that room a lot nicer.
Super jumpy. Oh, nicely done from Exact there. That's how you start getting back in the groove of things.
Another nice D factor from PapaSchmo. Missed 1 super, but still...
That almost
not quite get the 1 round.
Badly missed X factor from PapaSchmo.
No, it looks fine to me. D factor strat, the strat he used to open up the fight is... It looks a lot cooler than it is, to be honest. But usually as long as you time it right, everything will hit. PapaSchmo, not going to get that E-tank yet.
Yeah, tried on the first try and then just elected to get it on the way back. That item I don't think really matters.
Yep. Also, just gonna go for the halfie. Didn't quite get the full halfie. Also, doesn't
Yeah.
quite get this ledge grab, which loses another couple seconds.
It was a little low. But PapaSchmo right now building on about a 30 to 45 second.
It's closer
Almost
to a minute lead at the moment.
Yeah. I was trying to think that through out loud. Definitely on like a minute lead right now. Gets the precious missiles. Why is this room called Precious anyway? Do we know that?
I don't remember exactly who it was, but they were talking about Dragon strats and meant to refer to that room as like the previous room, but instead of typing previous, they typed precious. And now we call it Precious Room.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, that's confirmed in Twitch chat.
Yeah. To be fair, that is how a lot of room names ended up. Somebody will call it something and it sticks. Shout out to Nutella Refill, even though
Full halfie
Nutty doesn't even go by Nutella anymore.
Full halfie for exact. Nicely done. That's
nicely done. Yeah,
I've been trying to rename Climb Tower Blue Tower.
Well, climb's a pretty important part of the game. You're gonna have to work to make that one stick, I think.
We have a green tower, we have a red tower. Climb Tower literally is blue in the background, blue platforms. It should be Blue Tower.
Well, I'll put in a request to John Deere for us, see what he can do.
I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning to a damn tractor in my front yard.
Is it gonna be blue?
If it's anything other than green and yellow, I'd be disappointed.
Wow. Another John Deere guy. Who could have seen it coming?
You started it.
I did start it. Right. Nice.
Nice. Can you get the spike suit exact?
She does.
Yes!
Look at
Nicely done.
We did see PapaSchmo get a spike suit in game 2, and unfortunately blew it in this room. So hopefully Exact can be a little bit more careful with it, especially at a time like this. She is quite a bit behind. Can't afford to lose too much more time. There's still a lot of race left, but the amount of race is only going down.
Derp, can you explain to the viewers what the difference is between a blue suit and a spike suit?
Okay, so
Beautiful.
see the spark. That's what we save it for. But a blue suit is you essentially have the blue echoes that you normally have when you're running at full speed with Speed Booster. So essentially the game just doesn't realize you have it and doesn't check for it as long as you're not running. As soon as you start running, then the game checks your blue status and takes it away. But a spike suit is you have a permanent version of the Shine Spark charge, like when you're flashing white when you have a spike suit stored. You have that permanently, but you can use it anywhere. And once you use it, it's gone, obviously.
You just can't hit dash, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, with a spike suit, you can run all you want, but there's if you jump improperly, then it's very easy to accidentally input a Shine Spark, and then next thing you know, you're crashing into a wall. The crash animation is very slow. It honestly feels, or it's slower than it feels like. It's like almost a full 2-second time loss.
Now, we should just mention this. People in chat are probably going to go, yo, comms, Exact is caught up. No, she hasn't. She never got the energy tank and post-spot room. And she did not get the 2 aqueduct items yet. But she's still got 3 items to go. But we're going to revisit post-spot room and aqueduct anyway. We have to loop back around to get that second sand pit item. As the racers now enter Pants Room and get to go visit everybody's favorite enemy / friend, I guess / random undestroyable sand that the developers decided to put in the game Shack Tool.
Well, he is definitely a friend, even though you can shoot him. Like Zach just gonna dump some missiles. We don't need those, so. And we've got time.
Resisting the urge to kick Shack Tool's butt. Got it.
It's definitely tempting, although it would be a little bit devastating. She actually used like all of her missiles. I don't know if I would recommend doing that. Sure, it's fine though. It'll be all right. But that does give us access to the spring ball. There's a lot of nice tech we can do with it.
Oh yeah.
Such as get out of the spring ball room.
It's like the room was designed for that.
That's crazy. Right, so the runner is going over to Plasma Beam, then they'll be taking the Cack Alley in reverse to go back to Pre-Coliseum. And then Exact will have to go grab those items, like you said. PapaSchmo has already grabbed them, but is still exiting Meridia out that way to get closest to Norfair, exiting out the bottom. Also need the other sand pit. I know how this category works.
Exact's movement has started to look a lot cleaner.
Yeah, and I think that's how,
rooms.
especially in longer categories like this, I do think you can really, like, it kind of comes and goes in waves. Like you'll have several rooms in a row where you're just messing everything up, nothing's going right, and then you'll have another several rooms in a row where you're hitting everything, you're going real fast. Unfortunately, Exact actually struggled a little bit in this pancake room, but
yeah,
I do think partially because of just laws of randomness, like assuming that a room can only go good or bad and it's a 50-50 shot, then you'll usually have streaks of good and bad rather than alternating. And also, like, just the momentum of how you're playing affects how you keep playing.
And again, there's one other thing that you've talked about, and I feel like we brought up here a lot too, is the thing to keep in mind is this is game 3. This series started at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's now 12:38 a.m. Eastern. These racers have raced 2 full races, granted, still GT, Classic, and any percent of some of these shorter categories. But both racers, Derp, you said, because I'm just coming in here for game 3, you get to see your 3rd game commentating. Not only is it a lot, it's long. You're going through the same game 3 times in a row. There is no DNFs. You both finished off Mother Brain. You both went through the escape. There's 10-minute breaks in between. There's still... It's a mental game as much as it is a physical one. Just the exhaustion.
I mean, like I said earlier, there's a lot at play. There's the fatigue of A, it's late at night. B, we've played Super Metroid for 3 hours. Then you add that to the nerves of game 3 of a best of 3 of a single elimination tournament.
Winner gets to hang out with Derp tomorrow. I'm kidding.
Real?
Derp's like, wait, what?
I got no plans. But yeah, like, it is very hard to play optimally under these circumstances, so you definitely expect to see some shambles, and you just hope that the runners can overcome them and keep executing. We've got about half an hour to go. Got to get through LN and then clean up the rest of the items.
LN's another pain in the butt to clean up for item-wise. Again,
It's
this
not
game
so bad. As long there's a couple items that you have to remember, like Mickey Mouse being the big one.
Yep, I was gonna say Mickey Mouse is a big one, and I think It was some category I was calling. I don't know if it was. I think it was a GT Max %, and
Someone
I
forget
think
like
one
Three
of the racers
Musketeers.
forgot Mickey Mouse, had to
Ooh.
reverse acid dive, and it was a mess.
Oof.
I think that one broom cost him the race. So again, anything can happen. Right now, look at Schmo.
Yeah, Schmo is ready to go home. He's going as fast as he can, ready to go to bed. Getting this last item here in Kraid's Lair. We couldn't get it earlier because we didn't have power bombs, and going to grab the power bombs early ends up costing as much time as coming back here later.
That you would be factually correct.
It's actually a little bit slower, but you get to use the power bombs in a couple other spots to bring it back to even.
I think I just heard my headset beep low battery for the first time ever since I've had this headset. Because I keep charging it every time it gets to yellow. I got a Steel Series headset, so when it goes to yellow, I just charge it overnight. I forgot to charge it last night when it was on yellow. And that was a little weird. I thought it was something from the computer.
It's me. I'm running out of battery.
Oh. Where's the Energizer Bunny? He needs batteries! Bring him a pillow and a blanket!
I think that might have the opposite effect on... I lay down, I'm not getting back up. I can promise you that.
This lead for PapaSchmo right now is just, it really is something else. He's taken his minute lead and started expanding on it. This is the best movement we've seen from PapaSchmo this entire race here in Game 3.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think through the other two races, what I was noticing is PapaSchmo was having the better early game movement, but Exact was actually having the better late game. So here we kind of see that flipped. Exact had a pretty sizable lead, even throughout Wreck Ship. And ever since the refill she took at the ship to have enough health to get through Gauntlet, PapaSchmo's just been playing lights out, and Exact has had a few different spots where she's had some pretty big shambles.
You're gonna see some really cool stuff here. You saw PapaSchmo with that beautiful space jump.
Didn't quite get that one though.
Yeah, that beautiful space jump there with the loop behind it.
It was kind of an awkward deep boost for Exact getting across to this ice beam, but
speed bump.
She did get it.
I'm tired. All right, here we go. Chronic boost.
No chronic boost. We're just running in.
Yep.
Not even gonna do the Namahe boost, which I'm not really sure why. We've got enough energy for it.
I was gonna say like in from chronic boost into lava dive. So I will say thank you, Map Rando. I've learned so many room names from having to research what they all are.
Yeah, there's a lot of rooms in this game that have a lot of names. I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest. There's
room names I don't know.
I spent a lot of time with a cross product legend of the game, and so a lot of room names I have are not what the community uses at all, because Cross just had nonsense names for like every room. So I never know when I say a room name if it's right or not.
Gotcha.
My favorite, and I've said it enough that it's started to catch on, is still Bowser's Castle, the room in the room with the moving platforms, the trippers with lava. It's Bowser's Castle because it's got lava and spikes and moving platforms.
You're gonna have to tell me when we get there. I don't think we've got there yet.
We're not going there in this run. It's Remembered Highway going through like new route going down to LN. Okay. It's one of the rooms there. It's before Volcano.
volcano is.
Never mind. Let's move on.
Moving on, folks. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the room where the lava rises on up right before you get to?
Yeah, the lava rising room in
okay. That's Bowser's castle.
that sequence. Anyways, while we were yapping about rooms that we don't go to in this run, we did see both the runners go to this statue because they need to get the GT missile. We're actually going to see exact spring ball across, since your spring ball comes out on the first frame, so you get to jump up these crumble platforms instantly, not going to risk falling through and having to loop all the way back around. The GT fight, like we saw from Game 2 during the GT Classic, is very quick with this beam. And now, it took much longer than it did in GT Classic, but we are going to see the full item movement through Lower Norfair. PapaSchmo did remember Mickey Mouse.
Hooray!
Always good to see. Also, fun fact, the statue there does not activate if you don't have space jump, so that is part of the reason why we do this route in Hundo. You kind of have to do the bosses in vanilla order for that reason.
It's just so clean right now on movement. Outside of one mishap in Amphitheater, just looking really good. Let's see how his wasteland is.
In fact, also playing this Lower Norfair very clean. Got that fast pillars. She's headed up the Mickey Mouse missile. Still about a minute lead for PapaSchmo. I didn't see exactly what the PB's of Shame time was. I think it was like 105.28.
I'm not sure.
So,
but you know
actually might be closer to a minute and a half lead.
Yeah, sure feels like it. We are in Lower Norfair. I mean, it's time for the best music in the game, which means get your dino dances in Twitch chat.
I gotta disagree with you there. I'm a
okay.
I'm a green Brinstar truther.
That's gotta be number 2. It's a good beat. Red Bryn also, I feel like, is a little underrated. But this is just an absolute jam.
I think Red Bryn is appropriately rated. I think most people agree it's good. It's not as good as the Prime 2 remix, though. I'm a big Prime OST fan.
No, the Prime 1 OST is amazing.
I meant just the Prime trilogy in general.
I see you phase 23.
Exact has a lot more supers than PapaSchmo does, by the way.
Yeah,
see if she uses any of those on Ridley. It is faster to use supers on Ridley than beam shots, since you can do about twice as much damage per second. The supers do 600 and you can shoot 3 per second, compared to the 900 damage charge shots, which you can only shoot once per second. Yeah, Exact hit the power bomb at about 107 flat, so it is
a good Ridley fight too.
Almost exactly a minute and a half lead currently for PapaSchmo. We'll see if any of that is made up here. PapaSchmo did struggle in Metal Pirates a little bit, and Exact has a lot of supers that she can potentially use on Ridley to save a lot of time there. So that wasn't the cleanest Metal Pirates from Exact either, but she still had a lot nicer of a room than PapaSchmo did.
PapaSchmo struggled. I feel like one of those Metal Pirates just got stuck. Never really moved at all. Had to get rid of one of them before the others started moving. I see you, Ness. What's up, buddy? I wouldn't go that far as your comment.
WX fan claiming he is, in fact, not the loudest human on Twitch.
I highly doubt it.
I will let the people come to their own conclusion.
Don't put it up to them. They'll probably agree with this.
Well, that's called democracy. Exact is missing a few of these supers on Ridley, which is kind of awkward. Ridley is not giving her a nice pattern at all.
No, not at all.
Did get a nice fast explosion at least. Mix up a little bit.
Time to get the fire fleas missiles.
Yep, we got synced E-tank grabs, unfortunately. Exact is a little bit further away from the exit. As in, just as far away from the exit as you can get.
I'm surprised no one's posting in Twitch yet. That, like, yeah, if you've ever heard me call my Counter-Strike game or a Rocket League game, yeah, I can get pretty loud. But that's also half the fun of it. I feel like if you just have, like, too much of, like, not enough hype, it's just... Games miss that kind of, like, excitement.
I mean, I think games like Counter-Strike definitely lend themselves to being loud in terms of commentary. Because there's
You'd be
a lot of
surprised.
pop-off moments.
Oh, absolutely. But again, like, you'd be surprised. Like, there are certain commentators, like color commentators, that are so good at color commentary, it's like, can I get a little bit of energy out of you, please? Just a little bit of hype. Just a little bit.
Well,
We got
the PBs have been freed from jail.
I'd have to imagine Schmo's close to 2 minutes at this point.
I think it's still about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Though the Wasteland wasn't super clean from Exact. Those big Disgigas kind of gave her some trouble trying to get the speedball out.
Yep.
But
All right,
she's been clean since then.
Let's talk about cleanup, because I teased it earlier. The cleanup portions that we have done, PapaSchmo and Exact are now going to go finish cleaning Upper Norfair.
Yep. Which that is pretty much just the Norfair Reserve and the missiles over there, and then Bubble Mountain missile.
Yep. Those are the last ones, and then it's a go up through Red Bryn. Going to be clearing out Red Bryn by getting our X-ray, hitting back through Green Bryn, and then it's the Retro Bryn cleanup into Criteria and Tutorium. So we're in the end portion of the 100% run, and neither racer has missed anything as far as I've seen.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, it's hard to really pay close attention, but I haven't noticed anything missed so far.
Right. The only thing I could think of is Exact in the Cathedral missile, but I don't think she missed it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she didn't. Because she had the same lead entering and exiting the room, so surely she is on her way out of Lower Norfair. PapaSchmo got that Norfair Reserve, getting this last missile here in Norfair at Bubble Mountain. And that is Norfair cleaned up.
Nicely done. So yep, that is Wreck Ship done. Green Bryn done. All of Norfair complete. All of Meridia complete. It's Red Bryn into Retro Bryn, which is part of Criteria. Captain MD13, thank you for the raid. We appreciate you.
PapaSchmo headed over to the X-ray. Like we mentioned earlier, you want to do the X-ray at the end, now that you have space jump and screw attack to get through the long vertical hallway full of enemies nice and quickly. Space jump gets you across. Screw attack deals with any threats in your way.
Absolutely. Exact is now going to be finishing up Warfare by getting this last missile tank, and she is done. Notice how going through to get to X-ray is so much easier with that space jump and screw attack. Just makes it much faster. You could get it in theory on the way back once you get your grapple, but it's so much faster to leave it to the end of the route. You have to go back up Red Tower anyway.
Interested to see if PapaSchmo does the faster exit. It's actually slightly faster to grapple the door because your grapple beam will travel faster than a shot. So you can actually grapple it and run in full speed. Whereas if PapaSchmo just shot the door and ran at it full speed, he would have bonked because the door wouldn't be finished opening. One of those very small optimizations that doesn't technically matter until you're at a very high level, but
right.
It's a neat little thing. There's a couple other spots where you want to grapple the door optimally. Actually, funny enough, one of them is leaving the grappled room.
Oh, well, there you go. A very good best of 3 from both of these runners. Folks, make sure you give them a follow. !R on the Twitch chat. Go give these racers a follow. They've put on a great best of 3. !C if you want to follow the commentary team. Derp, when did the playoffs start?
I believe the playoffs have already started.
Excellent.
We've had a few different matches. This is the first match of the consolation bracket. I think more are on the schedule. I will check that right now. Yeah, we have on Sunday, so in a few days, we have Idol versus Polar Bear Bunny in the consolation bracket. And then plenty of stuff scheduled for the weekend, especially Saturday. We've got Zenny Fuzda, MGA Kaisenton, Eddie Fat Scott. P12 Glove is actually tomorrow night. A lot of fun races coming up in this tournament, both in the main and the consolation brackets. But right now, the story, PapaSchmo commanding lead so far in Game 3 after a long 3-game series where both players were able to take their picks for categories. If he can close it out, he will be moving on to the semifinals of the consolation brackets.
Consolation bracket was such a good idea.
Also being told by PapaSchmo in chat that there may be some more races tomorrow that might not get restreamed, but see if we can check those out anyways. A lot of fantastic runners. We can watch them all live on their respective Twitch channels. Is PapaSchmo actually going to back out of this to get the spark? If you spark at the very top, you'll... Actually, I'm silly. For some reason I thought you still needed to kill the pirates, but you don't. But the spark does get you all the way across the room. We've got our not quite 230 missile. One more to go still. First we've got Climb Super Missile. Right here. Nice shot from PapaSchmo, getting all those... I don't remember what the enemy is called, but freezing them all so we can just run all the way through.
Should we just call them the Goops?
I mean, they are goops, objectively.
Not to be confused with Dragon's Goop. Or Goo.
There's a few goopy objects in this game.
And that's the last Retro Bryn item for Exact.
And the last item in general for PapaSchmo, all that's left is to finish the game. All 14 E-tanks, 4 reserves, 230 missiles, 50 supers and power bombs. All the majors. We'll be taking them all to Mother Brain. That was at 119.03 G4 for PapaSchmo. We'll see what Exact's time is. I think the lead has remained relatively unchanged.
Yeah.
That's really awkward. The shot was just slightly too late. So one goop moved a pixel up and ruined our day.
Rude. All right, Exact has the second to last item now. Gonna head back through this little grapple area, back into Blue Tower, Climb Tower, however you want to call it, and then to 230 missiles for her. What did you say? It was 119.03 for PapaSchmo at G4?
I think that's what I said.
It's late, folks. It's 1 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be close to a 2-minute advantage for PapaSchmo.
Yep. Awkward.
He got like flashbanged by his own X-ray or something.
Okay, this didn't just turn to Counter-Strike, but sure.
Well, you know. I gotta show off my Counter-Strike knowledge. And by that I mean use a thing that is in Counter-Strike and pretend I know what I'm talking about.
Fair.
Oof, that door transition for Exact. That was rough. That was like a full second and a half door alignment. I'm seeing both runners X-ray on accident. They're both tired. Alright, it's going on fade in, so 121.01. Almost exactly 2-minute lead for PapaSchmo.
Yep. Comms are tired, the racers are probably tired.
It's hard not to be after 3 full races.
Yep.
Like, I definitely applaud all of the runners in this tournament, because I think most people have done... Oh, PapaSchmo got grabbed. Hold on.
Is this going to slow him down?
Yes.
It's unfortunate.
I assume he'll take the save and then reset.
Yes.
I don't think you want to finish with the slowdown.
Alright, so let's explain what just happened, Burp.
So he got grabbed by the baby Metroid, which causes the slowdown, and then left the room, which does not remove it. So now he's just slow until he resets. Because once he reloads the save, it is cleared. Yeah, you can actually reset as soon as you touch the save, but PapaSchmo wanted to make sure he got the full message. Or by touch the save, I mean like select yes on the menu. It's only the ship that acts differently. When you save at the ship, you actually have to wait for the full animation to play before you can reload the save. But in a save station, it works as soon as the saving animation starts.
That's about a 20 to 30 second loss.
Something like that. Maybe a little bit more, but PapaSchmo's still in a very sizable lead.
Yep.
Actually going to go for the second Zeb skip.
Nicely done.
Nicely done.
$18 projectiles to break Mother Brain one's tank.
Yep. And then you have to do 3,000 damage to the head to defeat her. So we saw the 9 missiles and 9 supers come out from PapaSchmo. we are on to Mother Brain 2.
That's exact is going from baby skip. Oh, look, pistachio skip.
Yeah, PapaSchmo also went for it.
Oh, gets grabbed.
It's actually interesting. Exact goes for the bomb spread to make it a little bit easier, and PapaSchmo does not. Unfortunately, I think we're 1 for 6 combined on baby skips. Exact got it in race 1, and that's the only one we've seen tonight, unfortunately.
Well, we're gonna have one last glitch, ladies and gentlemen. One last fun piece of tech for you all.
One more stand-up glitch.
And that is called stand-up glitch.
Yeah, PapaSchmo did not turn off the Varia, so he does have to damage down here, and you actually have to be pretty fast with your damaging down. If you do it too slowly, it's possible you trigger another catch-up, which if you finish damaging down when the catch-up... Or, sorry, you queue up another rainbow beam, and if that shoots out when you've already damaged down too low, you can actually die. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of people will actually turn off the Varia. The other thing is it's faster because you don't need to damage down as much. But you do have to menu to unequip the Varia at some point, so you lose the time there.
So here's what happens in the stand-up glitch. You need at minimum 7 energy tanks to do what PapaSchmo is doing. Typically, when Mother Brain hits you, Samus is not supposed to move. But if the Samus still has plenty of energy, she can still move, she can still go around. You can't do anything else to Mother Brain 2. She's done. It's getting ready for the cutscene. When Derp is talking about damaging down, the game looks for Varia suit on, Varia suit off. That is the trigger for the game to go Rainbow Beam with Varia on, does 300 damage. Rainbow Beam with Varia off, does 600 damage. Now, the stand-up glitch can also backfire on you if the baby Metroid goes too high. You can get soft lock, there's nothing you can do about it. The best way to get a perfect stand-up glitch is you take your beam, and it's usually you have one of the more powerful beams, and if you have Charge Ice Wave Plasma, you can damage Mother Brain down to defeated, but the game looks for one other trigger, and that is the Hyper Beam. You need to hit Mother Brain with one Hyper Beam to be done. So PapaSchmo, I think about 4 to 7 beams there, so a good stand-up nonetheless. Hope I did that justice there, Derp.
Yeah, I think so. I think the other interesting thing to note, which in this case doesn't really matter, but for the amount of damage or the amount of health you have to have left for the cutscene to actually trigger, actually changes based on the suits you have. So if you have Gravity Suit, you have to be at 100 or lower. If you have Varia, I don't remember exactly what it is, but if you have just Power Suit, it's like 340. Just to prevent Mother Brain, or at least attempt to prevent Mother Brain from actually killing you. Because if you're in between the health for a Rainbow Beam and that threshold, she'll actually just spit other attacks at you, which can sometimes kill you. If you have, like, for example, 4 tanks in any percent and you don't damage down, you can end up getting left at like 100, and if Mother Brain decides to shoot like 3 bombs at you, which has happened to people, you can just die. But that's how the game at least attempts to not do that. So
here we go, PapaSchmo going through Parlor.
Yeah. As we've been yapping about the stand-up, PapaSchmo having a clean escape other than the blue bomber. Unfortunately, did not get it.
Would have been cool to see.
Would have been cool. I think both runners have gone for it several times, but neither one has gotten it.
Yep.
Either way, PapaSchmo finishing in first place with an official race time of 1:27.22. Taking the series 2-1 and moving on to the semifinals of the consolation bracket.
GG's PapaSchmo.
Exact. Once again, in Mother Brain, as her opponent finishes, it's going to close out her final race of the bracket.
Nicely done to both racers. Great 3-game set. PapaSchmo is your winner, and will advance in the consolation bracket to the consolation bracket finals in that that is to be determined who PapaSchmo is going to face. Let's see how this escape is for exact. I mean, there's no point in forfeiting repeatedly right here at the end.
Well, she can redeem herself with a blue bomber here. We both runners have been going for it multiple races. Ah, man, not quite enough speed. It's really hard to do it like from the middle of the room because it's hard to get enough speed. But yeah, it was a really rough round 1 match in the bracket for exact. I believe she forfeited most of her regular tournament races, just didn't have the time to schedule them. So she's actually the lowest seed in the consolation bracket, facing up against Schmo, who was the highest seed, very close to qualifying. But we are joined by the victorious PapaSchmo. GG's, how you feeling?
I'm feeling things. Certainly some good, some numb. That might be my.
Would you describe any of them as tired, sleepy, perhaps?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what I'm feeling. Oh, okay. Yeah.
If that's the case, I can have to wait up
Well, we had to run this race. You all didn't have to restream it and commentate it, so we are very much appreciative of you. Thank you very much.
Our pleasure. Jarp is the one that commentated all 3 games. I went from Counter-Strike game to Sports Talk Live show to now finishing things up tonight with commentary here in game number 3.
Yeah, Derp the main MVP. Also honorable mention, Idle Child stepping in for portions.
About a race and a half. Had to step up for the second half of the any percent race.
Yeah. It was great. I felt like I did about as well as I thought I was gonna do. I didn't have really any time to. I practiced this morning for about 30 minutes, and I hadn't played Super Metroid in about 2 weeks, so. I did about as well as I was going to, and that was like 50-50 just screwing up rooms, or like, oh, I actually did that room pretty well. So yeah, I don't know. It was
There you go.
it was good. Good enough, I guess. I'll say that.
Good enough to move on in the consolation bracket, which I believe you've been doing a lot of the work for setting it up, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I just like I was looking at how many people had been knocked out from the playoffs, and I was like, man, I wonder if anybody still wants to, because I wanted to keep playing. I was sad that we couldn't keep racing Super Metroid, and within like seconds of me suggesting this, everyone's like, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, sure. So it was pretty much an immediate green light. I think Dang, Diggity Dang, who would have been the #1 seed, wasn't able to make it. So shout outs to Dang, but otherwise, yeah, it was just something I think all of us shared collectively wanting to do. So I'm glad it came to fruition.
Very cool. And we were also joined by Exact Science, Exact GG's.
Thanks. GG's Pops.
Exact. If you're talking, we can't hear you, but GG.
I can hear her.
There we go.
Oh. I may have just cussed on SpeedGaming then. Sorry, SpeedGaming.
No, you didn't. We couldn't hear you.
Okay. I don't want my privileges taken away. Yeah, no, that was fun. I'm sleepy. I'm annoyed at Pops for banning low ice. I thought he'd keep it in because we can both play it, but no.
I'm sorry. I had to take something because I knew you were just gonna to demolish me if I picked low ice, and I wanted to try to at least be competitive. So I took a strategic play. So I'm very sorry for that.
No, it was the correct veto from like a gameplay standpoint, definitely. 100%, yay! I did gold space jump in that run by 0.6
Nice.
seconds, so that was cool.
Nice.
I've been having like really clean rain dance strays recently. Now that I've said that, it's probably gonna completely fucking break. But
Of course. Well, you cussed on SpeedGaming twice now, but hey, there it is.
Oh my. Okay,
It's
if
all
one
right.
in the
It's
morning,
1
I'm
a.m.
sure.
It's 1
Okay.
a.m. After
Fair
dark.
enough. Fair enough.
Speed gaming after.
Beginning after dark.
Yeah.
You
Speed
heard
giving
nothing.
confessionals.
You heard nothing,
Mm,
Twitch chat.
My
indeed.
word.
Uh,
Hey, I
but
still came in sub 90 on that hundo run, so
yeah,
that I'm happy with. I don't really run hundo much, so
we both finished within a pretty you know equal-ish amount of time. I mean, we finished all 3 races, so it's like I think
yeah,
we both performed in some way or another to our
yeah.
current potentials.
I mean, every time we were both like, I feel like we were both in Mother Brain at the same time
Yeah,
in every race. We must have been, because like 2 minutes is shorter than the Mother Brain fight.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Damn. Yeah. Well, that's okay. That one is fine. That one I've said on Speed Gaming before, and it hasn't been a problem. But yeah, no, some good races. Then it's always nice when they're that close, even if I think this series could have turned out differently if not for that stupid green gate glitch.
Yeah, I would have loved. Yeah, yeah. I guess that's part of the category. But I would have loved to see how close it was without that. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, because we were like right there. You said.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
5 seconds or something. Yeah, but yeah, I think I'll go ahead and say my salutes and sign offs and stuff like that. So everybody can get to sleep and whatnot. But thanks Exact for agreeing to do this. Thanks everybody for doing like a super flash. Oh, it's all of a sudden going to be on a restream for the consolation match. So that was super cool. Jestro MM2 jumping in. Kupo for helping me set up all of this stuff through inertia, which has been super helpful. And yeah, that's about it, man. I had fun. See y'all in the next one.
Yeah. Same for me. Like, thanks, Pops, for the race and for having the idea to do this consolation bracket. Thanks, BX fan for coming this game, and AJ for being a trooper and coming all 3, and Idol and anybody else I missed who hopped on comms for us. Thanks so much. It's always cool. I'm looking forward to watching this one back. I made some funny mistakes a couple of times, so I'm looking forward to seeing those. But yeah, that'll do it for me. I'll see you next mission.
Yeah, I'd like to add shoutouts to MM2 for setting up game 1 and Jestro for setting up games 2 and 3, I believe. So I think MM2 is probably asleep. Jestro is definitely asleep. So shoutouts to them. See if they
Jetro may
watch
have
this.
fallen asleep in their chair.
Jestro did not make it to the end of this race. I will tell you that.
All right.
Hopefully
Does that mean I get to clean things up
somewhere
here, Derp?
earning reward points.
Probably.
What was that, WX?
Oh,
Jestro, one of the hardest working people in speed gaming. Love working with Jestro. I
Yeah,
said,
there's so
Derp,
much
does
for
that mean
the
I get
FM
to clean
community.
things up?
Yeah, he's the man for sure.
Mhm.
He's the man.
All
yeah.
right.
I just wanted to say I hope that wherever he is tonight, he's getting rewards points for his Hilton account.
There you go. All right, that means I get to clean things up. Big shout outs to Exec Science and PapaSchmo for an outstanding best of 3. Congratulations to you both and GG's. Shout out to Derp, who has done all 3 games of commentary. Shout out to Idol as well. MM2 Nest Cartridge, Jestro. I'm WX Fan 21 saying we'll see you next mission.